So this class is predominantly around activating your glutes. So really making sure your glutes are firing up to make sure you've got lots of balance, and we'll do a bit of general overall stretching. You might need to grab a long resistance band, or if you don't have a band, you can just use anything that's like a belt or maybe a dressing gown belt as well. But for start off, you're just going to have that to the side, and we're going to start on our knees, hands and knees, and do some cat-cow. So start off, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, just drop your belly and look up, and then round your back, looking through towards your belly button. So just do a few more rounds of cat-cow on your own pace, nice and slow, slowing your breathing down, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Try and make sure you're balanced and your weight goes over your shoulders, over your wrists, and your hips over your knees. Let's just do 2 more, and then we're going to meet into a neutral back position. So just make this your last one, nice and stretched, pushing up through your shoulders, arching your back, look up, and then come to a neutral position. So imagine you've got a tray on your back, plant your left hand, pick your right arm up to the ceiling, pull it all the way up like someone's pulling you up, and then dive your hand under and trying to get your shoulder and ideally your ear to the ground. So do thread the needle a few more times on the right hand side, really slow. Think about pulling yourself up to the sky or ceiling and pulling yourself under. Make this your last one on this side. And then plant that right hand down, pick up your left hand and repeat on the other side. So pulling up, stretching under. And last one, reaching up, stretching under. Plant your left hand, tuck your toes, come up to a downward dog, and just pedal your feet out. Having a nice stretch on the back of your hamstrings. Going as much as you can. Trying to push into your shoulders, looking back through towards your knees. And then slowly pedal your feet up towards your hands, bending your knees as much as you need to. And then rolling yourself up through to standing, arms stretch to the sky. Hold your left wrist with your right hand. You're just going to bend over towards your right side, feeling a nice stretch down the side of your body. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Remember slowing that breathing. Last one. And coming up to standing, switching over your wrists, holding left hand, right wrist, and then reaching over to your left side. Feeling a stretch down the right hand side of your body. Last one, come up to center. Stretch your arms by your side. Just going to stretch out your shoulders. So interlace your fingers, pushing forward with your palms, stretching through the back of the shoulders. Pausing here. And then loosening your arms. Let's do that with the opposite. Bring your palms towards you, reaching out the back of your hands this time. Stretching your shoulders. And have a gentle bend in your knees, you're not looking your legs out. One more time, flipping our palms, pushing them out forward. And then sweep those arms round, interlace your fingers, giving yourself a nice stretch back. You're trying to get your heel of your palm to touch, but just do whatever feels good for you. It's opening up across the front of your shoulders and collarbone. And then diving forward, bending your knees, your arms reach up to the sky, pausing here, again, just tipping forward as much as you can, that bend in your knees. And sweep your arms down, hands down, bending your knees as much as you can. And then walking yourself out, walking your feet back, and meeting again in all fours. And we're just going to come into our some hip openers, so kneeling up to a high kneel. Stretch your right foot forward, and then start off by just tilting your pelvis under, And then reach, leaning forward, feeling that nice stretch down your left glute, and then you're opening up your right hip bone, hip flexor, sorry. So you're just leaning here. We're just going to hold this stretch for a few deep breaths. So using your hands and your knees for stability. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Each time you breathe out, trying to get a little bit lower in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Last one. And then rock yourself back, coming onto the heel of your right foot. Just having your hands, you can start your hands on your glute muscle. Otherwise, if you can, reach your hands down to the mat. Feeling a nice stretch down your calf and hamstring on this leg. Again, trying to keep your hips as straight as you can. Last one. And then plant that right foot on the mat. You're going to come into what's called world's greatest stretch. So walk your hands forward either side of your hand, untuck your left toe and come up. So your left leg should be straight. And then feel that nice stretch. And then thread the needle again. So weight in your left hand, pick up your right hand, reaching up to the ceiling. Hold it here. And then try to tap that elbow down to the mat if you can. And then reaching up, so each time you're trying to get low in your hip, trying to tap that elbow to the mat. Reaching up. And last one. Tap the elbow, plant the hand outside of your foot, and step your right foot back to meet your left. We're just going to try and hold a cheeky plank here. So rocking forward and back if that feels good for you. If it's too much, you can come down to your knees. It's too much in your wrists, you can come down onto your elbows. Otherwise, trying to hold a full plank or whatever modified version. Pushing up through your shoulders. Let's hold it for 3 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Last one, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Dropping both knees, sitting up. Let's just roll those wrists out for a minute. One direction, and then the other, and we're going to do it on the other side. So coming up to a high nail, this time you step your left foot forward. Again, remember to tuck that pelvis under first, leaning forward. Again, you can use your hands on your knees to push a little bit more. And hold it for 3 breaths. Into the nose, out through the mouth. Last one, going a little bit lower if you can. And then rocking yourself back, trying to keep your hips parallel. And then again, start with your hands onto your glutes or wherever you can, as low as you can. Feeling a stretch down. You might find one leg, this one definitely feels like it needs a stretch more than the other. Trying to get your toes back towards your face. Last breath in. And then we plant that foot down, bring our hands forward. Again, tuck your back right toes, straighten that leg. Again, towards greatest stretch. You're planting your right hand to the mat this time, lifting your left arm up, reach up to the sky, and then trying to tap that elbow down to the mat. Again, everyone's different. Right side might be tighter than left. You might not be able to do the same both sides. Just notice and listen to your body and work with what you can. So last one, reaching up and tap down. Place your left hands outside your left foot back to meet the right. Pause here in plank, pushing up through the shoulders, reaching back with those heels. And then pike up to a downward dog, again walking through, pedaling out through those feet. Feeling a nice stretch down the hamstrings. And then again, drop your knees down. We're coming into our quadriceps, kneeling forward point position and a high fire hydrant. So we're going to start with our right side. So you're going to start with fire hydrant. So you lift your right knee and leg off, and you're just going to open up your right leg and lower it back down. So just keep opening on the right side and down. So do this, think about pushing between your hands and trying to keep your hips stable so you're not dropping into one side or the other. Imagine you've got that tray of coffee or wine on your back and you're really trying to keep it steady as best as you can, and you're really here activating your glute to bring your leg up. Let's just do 4 more. Try to keep your eyes gazed forward, down at your mat, in front of your hands. That's 2. Last one. And then you're gonna donkey kick. So you're gonna stretch your foot up to the ceiling. So like you're stomping on the ceiling, and then your knees come back to meet each other. So again, trying not to go to one side or the other, and really stamping up that ceiling like there's something on there or something on your foot. Let's do 4 more. Last 2. Last one. And then stretch out your leg and then curl it in. So now we're doing hamstring curls. So keeping that foot flexed. Again, looking down so you're not hurting your neck. You're just bringing your leg to a bent position and straightening it out. Let's do 4 more. That's 3, 2, and 1. Keep it straightened, then tap your right toe to the ground and pick it back up. So we're just doing single leg toe taps down to the ground or mat and back up. So we're really working this right side. Let's do 4, 3, we're going to do some rainbows, and that's 2. Last 1, so this time you're going to reach your left out to the side and then the other side. So it's like you're drawing big rainbows, semicircles with your leg. Your eyes can follow your toes if you like, or if that hurts your neck, just keep gazing down to your mat. Keeping the weight, trying to keep it evenly distributed, so we're not going too wonky. Let's do 4 more, and then we're just going to tap out to the right. 3, last 2. On this last one, leave your leg out to the right. I'm just going to tap it down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We're going to place a leg down into 1 and sit yourself up. Oh, give it a break. Let's just do some side bends. So have your hands just by your ears. Just going to bend down to the side and back up. So just working on our lateral side bends here, giving our legs a break. You want to make this a bit more intense. When you come down, reach your arms out, back to your ears and back up. Stretch them down, out, arms out, in. If you don't know that exercise, you're holding it for longer, just go back without the arms stretching out. Otherwise, we're just going to do 2 more. And last one. Come back to center, bring that little toe back. I'm just going to give arms a little break. We're going to go into a toe sit. So it's always good to stretch out the back of your feet. So come and have your toes bent under you and try and actually use your hands to even like really pull your toes apart. If this is too much for you, you can just come and do a normal kneel, because for some people that's enough. But if you can, try and do a toe sit sitting back on your toes. So we're just going to hold it here. Try to hold it for 30 seconds. If you need to, just have a break in between. Just bash out your toes and try and come back. Otherwise, we'll just use the opportunity just to roll our wrists in one direction. And roll in the other direction, giving our wrists a break. 10 seconds left, and really well if you're holding it, you can make it through. Just got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant your hands down, give your toes a tap. Well done, that is really tough, but it's really good for you. And then we're just going to do everything we did on the other side. So this time you're going to lift your left leg up into those fire hydrants. Again, trying to make sure your weight's even, you're not tipping to the right side or the left to compensate. Again, you might find one side's a bit easier than the other, but try and just think about your body. Let's do 4 more before we go into these donkey kicks. 2, and 1, and then donkey kick. So stamping your foot up to the ceiling, foot flexed. Let's do 4 more, 2, and then we've got the hamstring curls, the last one. And come up, straighten your leg and bend it in, keeping that foot flexed. Remember to push up between your hands, up between your shoulders, keeping your weight even. 4 more, and we do the lift and lowers. Last 2, keep your legs straight, tap your toes down and lift it up. Tap down, lift up. Your eyes gazed on the mat. Let's do 4 more, 3, 2, and we're going to do the rainbows. Last one, send back your leg out and then behind you, out and behind you. Making big semicircles with your leg as much as you can, keeping the weight in both hands. 4 more between your pulse on the left side. Last 2, keep it on the left, pulse it down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going to sit up in 1, so plant the hands down, come up to seated, hands by your ears, and do that lateral bend to the other side. You're trying to imagine you're not tipping forward or back, you're between 2 panes of glass. And if you can, as you come down, open your arms out, close back your ears and up. Down, out, ears, up. Again, if it's too much, don't do the extra arm stretch. Just keep going up and down. Otherwise, we're just going to finish off for the last 4. Last 3. And 2. And 1. And then we're just going to come and do some seated work. So this is when you need to grab your band. So come and sit down with your legs stretched out. Wiggle yourself forward on your mat. And if you've got that band or the dressing gown strap, or if you've got, place it on your feet. You're going to sit yourself up. And first we're going to go into what we call a C curve. So you're just going to roll yourself back and up. So in the C curve, we really think about, it's almost like someone's punching your stomach in, and you're coming up to full, and then back, and then full. That's it. We can start adding the row with the band, also using the band to pull your feet flexed, helping stretch out the back of your legs, trying to keep your heels down the mat if you can. Then we're just going to hold it back. You're going to row with the right arm and in, hold it, row with the left arm and in, and come back up. So we just roll down the C curve, right arm row, left arm row, and back up. Put it down, right arm row, left arm row, back up. Just do a few more of these. And this time we're going to hold it down. We're just going to hold, just do the rows. Row, keep alternating. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit yourself up, reset, and then we're just going to come back down to a C curve, and you're going to row the arms out and in. So bring your elbows out up to shoulder height, keeping that C curve if you can. Let's do another 4, and 3, 2, and 1. And then stretch yourself forward. You can get rid of that band, put that to the side. Sit yourself up, arms up to the sky. In breath, and you're just going to reach your arms forward as far as you can. If you can reach your shins or your ankles or your toes, just pulling yourself back. If you can reach the toes, a nice stretch forward. And then roll yourself back down onto the mat. We're going to go to some glute bridges. So have your knees hip distance apart, feet on the mat, knees bent, hands down by the side to start off with. Start by tucking your pelvis and pushing your back into the mat, and then coming all the way up, so your hips are coming up towards the ceiling like two lights shining, and then just back down. So we're going to do that again, so coming all the way up and back down. So use your hands on the mat for support, or if you want to make this a bit more challenging and test your balance, you can bring your arms up to the sky. Either can bring them up and lower them with each time you lower, or just leaving them up in the sky, in the air as well. Really pushing your glutes, squeezing your glutes as you reach up, rolling your back down as you come to the mat. Really good to work your lower back here. Let's do 2 more and then we're going to add some marches. So in this last one, stay up, you're going to march your right leg up to tabletop, tap it back down, left leg back down and rolling down. So this can test your balance, so you're going to have your hands on the mat instead. That will give you more support. So coming up and adding those marches. Otherwise, if you can leave your arms in the ceiling, that just work a bit harder. Or you can do the combo of bringing them up and down each time. So trying to remember to keep your hips high. You'll notice as you get tired, you start to drop, but really pushing your hips up as you're doing those marches. Let's just do 4 more. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. And then hold your hips up. Have your arms up. Can you pulse up and down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rolling yourself down. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a rock and roll. Stretching out your back. We're just going to go into some ab work. So come back to that same position with your feet on a mat. And we're going to start with some ab curl. So have your interlace your hands behind your head. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift your head, neck and shoulders off the mat. And lower back down. So your hand is there just to protect your head. You shouldn't be yanking your head forward. So it means you're only coming up a little bit, and that's just where it works for you. Trying to keep your eye gaze forward, either looking up towards the top of your knees. Keeping that nice, good for your neck. Now if this is enough for you, just stay here. Otherwise, when you come up, you can add a leg march. So similar to what we did from our glute bridge. Bring our leg up as you come out, alternating between your legs. Slowing down that breath. You want to add on, so you can always drop down and not do the legs. Otherwise, if you want to add on, next time you come up, you're going to straighten your leg instead and reach over with the opposite arm. So you're coming into a bit more of a sideways now. Getting a stretch from your leg as well as your side waist. Again, if it's too much, you can drop the legs and just do the arms coming up, or you can go back to just doing ab curls. Just do whichever one works for you. And wherever you are, we're just going to do 4 more. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Rolling yourself down. You can bring your knees to your chest, rocking and rolling. And then planting your feet down, we're just going to windscreen wipe our legs to one side and to the other. Coming back, keep alternating it through. So you're just going to hold on one side, stretch your arms out to a T or goalpost if you don't have enough room. Looking over the opposite shoulder. Getting a nice stretch down the side. Really good for your lower back. Bring your knees back and the other side. Come back to centre, grab onto your knees. You're just going to rock and roll yourself up a few times down the mat, massaging out your back. Trying not to tap your toes down if you can. That's 3. Going to hold it in a teaser 2. Last one, can you come up? Can you hold it? Can you bring your arms forward? Can you bring your legs up? And hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come forward across your legs and come over. And we're going to do some prone work. So that means on your stomach. So you're just going to lie yourself onto your mat, rolling all the way down. Have your hands on the mat in front of you like they're a pillow. And then we're just going to start by lifting our head, neck and shoulder off the mat and lowering it back down. So your legs aren't moving, you're just literally lifting up your head and shoulders and lowering it back down. So this is really good for your lower back and lower down. But if it hurts, just don't come up too much. Can be a lot of problems with lower backs. This is a really good stretch out. If that feels okay, you can imagine your hands are now stuck to your forehead. Lift up your arms and elbows as you lift your head up. If that's too much, puts too much strain on your lower back, keep those hands on the mat. Otherwise, we're just lifting our hands like they're stuck to our forehead. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Give yourself a break on your hands. Now we're going to do our legs. So it's just lift your right leg up and lower it to the mat, and left leg and lowering it down. So just lifting our legs, alternating. Keep your head down, onto your hands. Should be squeezing those glutes when you lift the leg up. Don't lift it too high. You should be able to push your pelvis and your pubic bone into the mat. Let's do 4 more and then we're going to lift both legs together. Last 2, last 1, and this time we're going to lift both legs up and lower down. Just legs up this time, hands and head stay on the mat. Let's do 4 more, we're going to add the head. That's 3, 2, and 1, and now can you add your head, so you're doing a full lift. As you lift your head, you lift your legs. If it's too much, again, you can keep your hands on the mat and just lift your head. Otherwise, let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. Rock yourself side to side. It's going to do a good lower back stretch. You just pick up your feet before, like we did the donkey kick. I'm just going to rock your legs and hips, side to side. So your head can stay on the mat. Just rocking your hips out. It's really good for stretching out your lower back. Let's do 1 more each side. And then lower your legs. Bring your hands back to your shoulders. Stretch up to a nice cobra stretch. Nice stretch. You can look over your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to centre and sit back for child's pose. Stretching your arms out in front of you. Walk your arms over to the right, interlace your fingers and pulling back. Feeling a stretch on your left side. Walking your hands to centre and then to the left. Again, right fingers over left. Interlace your fingers and stretching back. Walk your hands to centre, come up to all fours. Tuck your toes, come back to downward dog. Pedaling through your feet. And then walk your hands towards your feet, tucking your chin, rolling yourself up to standing with your head being the last thing to come up, and just do a couple of shoulder rolls. And then we're going to do our squat series. So walking forward to your mat, hips distance apart. Just going to come down to a squat and stand up. Just keep doing squats, being fairly slow. So think down for 2, up for 2. Down for 2, up for 2. Now really think about just making sure you're squatting back, sitting on that imaginary chair. You should still be able to see your toes over your knees, and your knees should be in track with your big toe and second toe. So really coming back, you can have your hands in front and then push them back, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Nice and slow, using your glutes and squeezing your bum as you're standing up. Okay, we're going to add on with a hip lift, a knee lift. So next time you come up, lift your right knee up, squat back down, lift your left knee up, squat back down. So we're going to keep alternating our knee lifts, just testing our balance very slightly. And then if you want, you can make it a bit more of a twist. So you're bringing your opposite knee to opposite elbow, or elbow to knee, sorry. Getting some more lateral movement in this. Again, really good for activating your glutes. Also testing your balance. So let's do 4 more, so making sure you're even wherever you are. Last 2, and we're just going to do these knee lifts. Last 1. Becoming standing, we're just going to do knee lifts. 8, 7, 6, 5, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to do some lunges now. So we're going to start off standing, again knees bent. Step your right knee up, and then we're going to step it back. So it's coming up and stepping back. So as you're stepping back, keeping your legs straight. And then I like to have my hands on my hips just to keep my hips steady. You want to tap your foot down in between as you're stepping back and stepping in and up. That's totally fine. But if you've got the balance, try not to, and just sweeping your leg back. You can add in arms if you like to. So as your opposite arm, opposite leg. Let's do 1 more, and then we're just going to speed this up. We'll come at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then just walk it out. Whew. Now, before we go on the other side, let's just do some more squats. We're just going to come some side-to-side lunges. So have your feet out, pointing out, and then be probably outside of your mat. Just going to come down onto one side, then the other. So keeping your chest up. Your chest isn't leaning forward, your chest is up. You're just leaning side to side, working these inner thighs. Each time trying to get a little bit lower, stretching them out. If you can, try to get your hands down maybe towards the floor. Each time you might, especially if you're in socks like me, you might be sliding. And then let's do some slow, just to hold it a bit more. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. If your hands are on the floor, just using to help yourself walk yourself up, back up to standing. And then we're going to do the lunge on the left. So weight in your right leg, start by lifting that left knee up and stepping it back. Left knee up, stepping it back. So again, you can tap in between. Otherwise, if you've got the balance, lifting your knee up and stepping back. As you're stepping back, trying to keep that leg Nice and straight in your lunge, and you'll also feel a nice stretch down that left leg. Whew, getting out of breath on this one. Let's do 4. Before we go in the running man. 2 and 1. Coming up. And then we're going to go back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, standing up. Let's just do some last lots of squats. So sumo squats. So again, feet mat distance apart, mat width apart, sorry. Just going to come down and up. So nice and slow, tucking that tailbone under. Imagine you're between 2 panes of glass. So again, you're not leaning forward. You're just coming down and up. Whew, slowing your breath down. So your arms up as you come down, feeling a nice stretch. If you want to make this a bit harder, next time you come down, just lift one heel off the mat, place it down, and then the other. So it's alternating, lifting your heel off the mat as you squat down. If you really want to work, you can do both. That's a little bit harder. So you might just want to do one and alternate. Wherever you are, let's just do 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Stretch yourself up, nice big shoulder roll. Whew, it's a little workout. Stretch your arm up to the sky, reaching up, sweeping your arms down, tucking your chin to your chest, rolling down. Bending your knees so your hands reach the floor. You can pedal out your feet here, feeling a nice stretch. And then leaving your left hand planted. Bend your right knee, lift your right arm up to the sky. Inhale, exhale. Lower your right hand, bend into your left knee, up to the sky. Pull it down. And walking yourself forward, dropping your knees when you need to. Let's just take that as a child's pose as a rest. Reaching your arms forward on your mat, dropping your elbows to the mat. Really making it a relaxing child's pose. And then you're going to sit yourself up. We're just going to finish this off with some nice stretches. So you can grab that band again. You're going to come lying down on your back. So have the band over one of your feet. Start with your right foot, holding both bands, stretching your left foot out, reaching your right foot up to the sky, holding the band in both hands. And let's just have it one side in each with my elbows on the mat. And let's start with flexing and pointing that toe. So each time, trying to get a little bit lower towards your face. Take it nice and slow. You feel a nice stretch down the back of your right leg. If you feel more stable, you can bend your left leg. Otherwise, as long as your hips are balanced, stretch along the mat. And then we're going to rotate that ankle in one direction. Feeling any clicks as you go. And the other direction. 2, and 1. And then place the band in your both ends in your right hand. Place your left hand on your left hip to keep that down to the mat. You're just going to drop your right leg out as much as you can without lifting this left hip raise. So just go your own flexibility. Everyone's different. And just wherever you can, hold it, keeping that foot flexed. Let's hold it for a few breaths, slowing everything down. Close your eyes, it feels good for you. Feeling a nice stretch through the inner thighs. Last breath in. Bring your leg back up to the middle and then swap hands. So your left hand's holding the band, right hand on your right hip, and then just drop it over the other side. So we're stretching our IT band, all the way down the right side. Again, trying to keep your right hip on the mat, so you might not go that far, but it's stretching your leg across your body as best as you can. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Come back to centre. We're just going to swap over. So keep the right foot in the band, lean up with your left foot, drop your right foot, and again you can have it bent on the mat or stretch, whatever feels good for you. Holding the bands in each hand and start with the flex and point. You're trying to keep your legs straight as best as you can, flexing your foot, toes down to meet you, and toes to sky. Toes to face, toes to sky. Rotate your ankle in one direction. And the other. Come to stillness, and again, holding the band in your left hand on your right hip, dropping your leg out to the left as much as you can to keep that right hip on the mat, flexing your foot. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Last breath in the nose, out through the mouth, bringing the leg back up to centre, swapping over the hands, right hand on the band, left hand on your left hip, and again over the other side. Again, you might find one side's tighter than the other. My left side's definitely tighter. Just holding it wherever you can. A few deep breaths. And come back up to centre. Just going to drop that band off. I'm just going to do some more glute stretch because we did do a lot of glute activation. So bringing your right knee up to bent, have your left ankle on your right knee, and you're just going to put, using your left hand, pushing that out. Then grab between, you can hold between your back of your right thigh, or you can grab your shin, having your head back on the mat. I like to flex my toes and just rock back and forward, side to side, Getting a nice stretch down that left glute. Pause whichever side you feel like it works the most, or keep rocking. And then just stretch your right foot up to the sky again. Nice point and flex. Feels good. And roll the ankles again. Always a good stretch. And then place both feet on the mat and swap over. So right ankle over left knee. Again, pushing that knee out to start off with. And then diving forward, grabbing behind your thigh or on your hip shin, rocking yourself back so your head is on the mat, flexing your toes, and rocking side to side. If you like to just stay on one side or the other, just listen to your body, whatever feels good for you. And then stretch your left leg up to the ceiling. Point and flex your toes, rolling your ankles, feeling a nice stretch. And then just bring both knees into the chest. And again, just rocking ourselves up and down the mat. That's 3, 2. We're going to finish that teaser. So can you come up? Can you bring your arms and your legs up? Can you hold them for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just sit yourself up, stretching nice and forward. Let's just do a butterfly stretch. So come with your feet together, and then you're just trying to stretch out your knees, so stretching the inner thigh. So have your elbows onto your knees, pushing them down. Sit yourself up. Take a breath in and then melt yourself forward, using your elbows to push your knees out. Sometimes it's nice just to open your feet like they're a book. You can use your fingers just to gently massage the inside of your feet. Just coming forward as much as you can, finding some rest. And then sitting yourself up, come to a seated position. And there you go. Thank you. That was a good stretch out. Also doing all the fire hydrant sequence is a good warm up to any running, to making sure you're activating your glutes. So you can always just do that part as well. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you again.